In my opinion, M1 Finance is a great starting point for newer investors who don't have any of their long-term accounts covered and want to have a say in what they're investing in, so they can pick companies that they truly believe in, but also have a platform that once it's set up, it basically is automated for you. Let's break down M1 Finance so you can understand how it works and the types of investing that is best for their platform. Stick around to the end to get some more info on other platforms you can use as an alternative so that you can make the best decision for yourself. So, how does M1 Finance work? On the surface, it looks a little complex, but it's actually really simple. M1 Finance lets you use their platform on PC or on your phone, which is nice. There's also a free version or a paid version, but for most people, the free version is going to be more than enough. I'll talk about the different versions a little later on. Okay, so M1 Finance is using something they call a pie. This is where people can get confused. Basically, a pie is something you set up where you tell M1 Finance how you want your money to be allocated when you deposit it. You can have 100 different slices, as they call it, in each pie, meaning that you could have 100 different stocks per pie you set up with different weighted percentages for each slice. Let's say you have 2 stocks you want initially in your pie when you first start to keep things simple. You have 2 slices, now you decide the percentage of each slice. You could do 50% for the first and 50% for the second, or pretty much whatever you want, just so long as the total equals to 100%. This means when you deposit money, M1 Finance will try and balance your portfolio to match the percentages you have set for your pie when it comes to dollar amounts. So in this situation, if you put $100 in, it would buy $50 of the first and $50 of the second. Now let's say you have a deposit scheduled to go into your M1 account next week. So let's say your first stock is now $100 of your total account and the second stock is only worth $50 still. It will rebalance these totals by buying more of the second stock and less of the first stock with the money you put in your account to get the total value of your account as close to a 50-50 split as it can without selling anything. M1 Finance doesn't focus on numbers of shares when it comes to the percentage allocation. It focuses on the dollar amount. This is easy for them to do since they use fractional shares. All you do is set up how much of the account percentage you want in each security, and M1 Finance will balance it for you. This is part of why I like M1 so much for people who are learning and don't want to be super hands-on with a long-term account. You set up how much you want to go into your account and what you want your pie allocation to be, and then it does everything else for you. If you don't feel comfortable creating your own pie right off the bat, M1 also offers the ability to pick from what they call expert pies that are already set up with different goals for your investing, so you could always go with one of those if you don't want to create your own. The fractional shares is another plus here because you can put expensive companies into your pie like Amazon or Tesla, and it will buy fractional shares with the amount of money that you do deposit. You don't have to have the hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars to buy a whole single share of some of these bigger companies like some brokerages still make you do. One of my favorite parts about M1 Finance over your more traditional brokerage is the ability to set up automatic deposits and then have your account set to auto invest. This isn't something that you can really do with a traditional brokerage unless you're investing in mutual funds exclusively. ETFs don't allow for automatic investing, but with M1 Finance, you can pretty much make your own ETF and automate the whole process. You could also make a pie consisting of all of your favorite ETFs on M1 Finance, so it's a great route for people who love ETFs. You can set up those automatic deposits and the auto invest, and all of your ETFs that you like get deposited money in every single week. If the words ETF and mutual fund just confused you, we have a video for you, so check it out right here. Whenever someone asks me about where to start when it comes to investing, they always think they need a certain amount of money to start. The truth is that forming a habit when it comes to setting money aside is much more important than having the perfect starting conditions. M1 Finance is perfect for this since you can set up a transfer to happen on payday and then auto invest in your pie. When it happens automatically, you just go about your life and don't really miss the money, and it's a great way to start that savings and investing habit for people who are coming off the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. Okay, so now you kind of understand how M1 Finance operates. Let's cover something else people may find confusing if they are used to traditional brokerages. M1 Finance uses trading windows. You don't have down to the second control when you buy and sell stocks with M1 Finance. This means that if there's a random dip throughout the day in a stock that you like, you can't just buy more with your M1 account. If you have auto invest turned on and money gets put into your account, M1 Finance will execute it at the next available trading window. This is why this platform is better for hands-off investors when it comes to buying and selling at specific times. If you have the premium version of M1 Finance called M+, You get a second buying window that takes place like an hour and a half before market close, but if you're wanting to buy and sell securities constantly, you might want to stick with a different institution. Don't worry, I've got something for you guys at the end of the video who are more interested in other brokerages. So that's pretty much the investing side of M1 Finance, but what else do they offer? Well, they allow you to borrow against up to 35% of your account's value at a 3.5% interest rate for the free accounts and at 2% interest rate for their paid version. The cool thing about borrowing from them is that unlike a lot of brokerages that allow margin that only let you borrow money against your account to buy more stocks with, M1 Finance allows you to do things like pay off high interest credit card debt, auto loans, or HELOCs. They also will let you reinvest that money in their platform if you want, like traditional margin. I don't personally take out loans to pay off other loans, but if you have a bunch of high interest loans and a large amount invested, it might make sense for you to borrow at a lower interest rate against that portfolio to eliminate some of the higher interest debt. I'll leave that decision up to you. All I'll say is just be careful when it comes to how much debt you're carrying and where you're taking it from. M1 Finance also offers a debit card so you can further consolidate your accounts in one easy place, and it allows you to transfer money seamlessly from investing, borrowing, and spending depending on how you're feeling that day. For M Plus members, you will get 1% cash back on all purchases and 1% APY on money you have in your checking account with them. As of right now, M Plus is free for 1 year, and after that it costs $125 per year. And you get one more perk I want to mention other than the cheaper interest rate, extra trading window, and the debit card perks. You also get access to custodial accounts for your kids, so you can start showing them how to build long-term wealth and let them get introduced to how the stock market works. If you aren't familiar with what a custodial account is, or any other kind of investing accounts for that matter, check out this video I made about types of accounts that I think cover a lot of the bases for most people. The last thing with M Plus isn't out yet, but it's coming, and that's the M Plus credit card. This credit card will integrate with your portfolio in a way I've never personally seen. If you have seen this before, leave a comment down below to where so I can check it out because it's awesome. With their credit card that's coming out, you can earn larger cashback rewards with companies that you were invested in. Names like Apple, Amazon, and Starbucks, as well as many others. Being able to be rewarded with a larger cashback reward just for being an investor in a company is pretty sweet in my opinion, and they're throwing out numbers as high as 10% for those special rewards. Not only that, but M1 Finance is doing its best to make your financial picture as simple as possible. You can invest, borrow money, have a checking account with a debit card, and soon they'll have a credit card, all accessible from one single app. In this current day and age, convenience is huge for people, and I really like how they've implemented these features for people to take advantage of. If M1 Finance doesn't look like your cup of tea, take a look at these videos to see what some other brokerages offer. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.